Hello, I'm William Kumwembe and this is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And coming up in the program today, we speak to FDH Financial Holdings Chief Executive Officer William Mpinganjira to find out his vision for the institution having received the mantle from his father. And also in the program, we analyze the first 100 days of the Tonsi Alliance-led administration. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could.
Alimi, pezani pendo chuluka ndi mbewu za Global Seeds.
Alimi tukukani pa ulimi wanu ndi mbewu ya makono, limani Global Seeds.
Pezani pendo chuluka ndi mbewu zovomerezeka zochamsanga ndi zokhala ndi zokolola zochuluka za Global Seeds. Mbewu yachimanga monga MH34 mwazangati yocha masiku 120 yopirira kung'amba chiwawu komanso yogonoka. MH40A Orange Maize yokhala ndi vitamin A yocha masiku 120 okhabasi. Mbewu ya mtedza CG9 ndi CG11 yopirira ku matenda akhate Rosetta kukolola zochuluka matumba 50 pa hekta imodzi ndinso ya mafuta ambiri. Mbewu za nyemba NUA 45 zili ndi zinc komanso iron zochamsanga masiku 75 zosayanga komanso zokomoka madya tilinso ndi kholopete. Mbewu ya soya watikolole komanso makwacha. Mbewuzi mutha kugula pa ngongole komanso popereka pang'ono-pang'ono lay-by kwa onse omwe ali pa ntchito. Mbewu za Global Seeds Limited zikupezeka kwa magrodealers ovomerezeka mdziko muno omwe akupezeka mdera lanu. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri imbani foni pa 0998 276 790 kapena 0885 158 429 kapena pa tsamba la internet www.globalseedsmw.com.
Kuti mupindule pa ulimi wanu mtawi zasi, limani Global Seeds. Global Seeds. Kuti mupindule.
Hello and welcome. This is Business Time. In our main story today, FDH Financial Holdings Limited recently appointed William Mpinganjira as its new Chief Executive Officer. He takes over the mantle from his father, Tom. Tom technically built the empire. I caught up with William to find out how does it feel, number one, to be head of the institution at only 36.
I must say, I'm quite honored and humbled to be running this organization because it's one of the largest financial services organizations in the country, and the board of directors chose me to be able to take it over and take over the legacy of Dr. Mpinganjira. So I'm quite excited, I'm very honored, but also in a way I'm quite anxious, because I'm taking over from someone who was very, very successful. So there's a lot of pressure on me to ensure that I succeed.
Talking of taking over from someone, if I'm to use your own words, who was very, very successful, and then you've used the word pressure. What is your next key assignment on this role?
The first thing I have to do is to ensure that I take care of my people, our staff. One of the things that the group did well is to educate me, to train me to be able to do this role. Now, I have to make sure that my staff are very well trained, they are happy, they are in an environment that entails them, assists them to perform. So that is something that I have to continue engaging our staff and communicating to our staff that this is the way we want to go. Then the second thing, once we've sorted that out, is to continue with the innovation in the organization. FDH Group is now known locally in Malawi to be quite an innovative organization from a digital perspective. That is something that we have to continue, because from a competitive point of view, there are certain advantages that we have that we must hammer home. there are certain things that we can't compete with the international banks. There's no point wasting time working on those weaknesses, because whatever we do will never be as good as them. So we focus on those things that we are good at, and innovation and digital is something that we are good at, and we must maintain that edge.
You're coming at a time, one of the key subsidiaries, FDH Bank, just listed on the Malawi Stock Exchange. You're talking of innovation, you're talking of moving forward, talking of vision. Where do you want to see this company, say 5-10 years from now?
I would say within the next 5 years, I would want us to have grown our market share. Currently, we hover around 12 to 13% in terms of market share from a bank perspective, and as a group, around 13% in terms of market share when you're looking at deposits and things. So I would want us to start moving towards those who are at the top. Right now, the top two banks have about 50%, roughly about 50% of the market of financial services in Malawi. Now, we need to eat into that cake. So 5 years from now, I want us to be much closer to where they are, because it means that each of them has around 25%. So I want us to be closer to the 20% figure. And moving on further beyond that, once we've started consolidating within Malawi, wherever there are opportunities outside Malawi, that's an area that we would also want to look at. So if we're looking at the horizon beyond 10 years, the Malawi market is relatively small compared to our neighbors in the SADC region, East region, Western region. So if we want further growth for our staff, for our investors, then we have to look beyond our borders. So that's the long-term vision in terms of where do we want FDH Group to be.
Now, on Tuesday, the Tonse Alliance government, led by President Lazarus Chakwera, clocked 100 days in office. It has been a mixed bag. But our journalist, Chimwemwe Mangazi, has been speaking to some economic commentators, asking them how they feel the new administration is setting a tone for sustainable economic development for the country. He has more in this report.
The dream for all of us together to be the ones who enjoy the riches of Malawi's soil, to be the ones who make the products of her industries, to be the ones who harvest the bounties of our fields, to be the ones who are served by her taxes, and to be the ones who raise the skylines of our cities.
The country's streets in major cities and towns were filled with jubilation on the night of June 28, 2020, when the Malawi Electoral Commission announced Dr. Lazarus Chakwera as the new president of Malawi. Many were expecting that their economic well-being will be changed for the better based on campaign promises made by the Tonse Alliance. But what is the people's impression on economic development now that the Tonse Alliance administration has run government for 100 days?
I'm not really impressed just because we had high expectations, because Malawians, we came from a very deep, we were in poverty. We were living really in poverty. So we expected a lot than what they delivered in 100 days. Even in the budget, there's also, they need to scrutinize it so that individually everyone should feel good.
There's now nothing I can say, because it's a few days. 100 days is a few days. We are waiting for a year. It's when we're going to see. It's when we're going to see what they have done, what they promised us in their campaign.
You know, many lalo ndikuona ngati sili na pepo kugwira ntchito ya chikwa chimene chayamba kusindi kuchiona.
It feels like they haven't yet started working. We expected promises they made, such as cheap products and fertilizers.
Economic expert Bechani Chereni holds that the first 100 days for the alliance has been a mixed bag.
There was a talk about a development bank in Malawi. We haven't seen any decisiveness in that as well. We hoped that the rebranding of MEDEF was going to think in those lines, that maybe we need that development bank to be in Malawi so that we can begin to see huge people with huge ideas that I want to industrialize into this part of the world. People would then come in and do that. We have seen a private commercial bank in Malawi coming up with a development bank section, but we are talking about a public entity here, something that can help to spearhead industrialization, because elsewhere government does lead in terms of industrialization. If we are going to make sure that we have created the 1 million plus jobs that we are talking about, we need to make sure that there are industries. The manufacturing industry is very good at employing so many people, and therefore it's important to make sure that the government is actually taking a leadership in that area as well. Otherwise, we have to say that the ambitions are quite clear. We are seeing them happening.
And Emmanuel Kaluluma is a tax expert who also sits as senior consultant at EK Tax Consultants.
It's very clear that during these 100 days, those people who corruption was part of their life, I don't think they're only thinking twice before they do it. They are thinking 4 times before they do it. To me, that is a plus. And then a rule of law. We see government is taking steps that businesses or vending are done in the right order. They are done at the right place. So 100 days to me, it's not a flicker, it's a torch that we can turn Malawi around as long as we all join hands.
It is clear that the masses are expecting the Tonse Alliance government to make good of their promises made during campaign period in as far as economic development is concerned.
Remember, this is Business Time, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. When we get back, the Malawi Postal Corporation Limited says it needs about 18 billion kwacha bailout package. That's when we get back in Business Time.
Bliss Body Lotion is well refined to give your skin full hydration, leaving you feeling fresh throughout the day. Bliss Body Lotion is a top-range body lotion which contains natural extracts and is found in 3 flavors at a very reasonable price. Bliss Lotion Aloe Vera, Bliss Lotion Instant Hydration, Bliss Lotion for men. Get yourself Bliss Body Lotion today in all leading stores across the country.
Welcome back. The Malawi Postal Corporation Limited says it needs about 17.9 billion kwacha to help resuscitate its business. This is, of course, a bailout package. Zacchaeus Meke is the institution's chief executive officer and caught up with our journalist, Chimwemwe Mangazi.
Business is quite a mixed bag. Starting from the year 2000 to 2020, a lot has happened. MPC's business has been disrupted by emerging technologies. We've seen that when MPC started, we used to transmit like 11 million pieces of mail per year. That's both local and international. but then that has gone down. Yeah, fast forward to the year 2020, we're looking at 1.5 million pieces of mail. So would say it presents a mixed bag in that sense. However, the presence of other technologies have created huge opportunities for us to undertake. So I would say in some cases, say courier business is quite taking. We brought in the bus, it's working wonders. The mail has gone down, as it is expected that globally, mail is dropping by 3%. So Malawi wouldn't be left out in the whole equation. So there are several opportunities available, in which case MPC has decided to tap on. MPC, having known that most of the fundamentals have gone out of balance as a result of emerging technologies, we were mandated to operate or to offer postal services. That includes the courier as well as the financial services. You would understand when I say mail has gone down, because now there are emerging technologies. You've seen the social media, the emails, the internet, and so forth. They've disrupted the mail. That caused for us to change. And also we had the financial services, fast cash, with emerging technologies like in mobile technologies. That also has been overtaken. Now, digital banking has taken its course, and obviously that has also pushed us out of balance. Therefore, all this created a need for us to change, and we created a turnaround strategy. Now, this turnaround strategy seeks to do two things. The first one is to reduce the cost, because you understand that all costs that used to prevail when MPC was created are the same in the year 2020. Literally everything else, despite the fact that there have been several changes, including changes in technology and the drop in mail products. So with that, we sat down and started working on what should we onboard and what should we offload. So we are looking at all the other ways to drop the cost, so that at the end of the day, we have gone fully digital. Now, this even includes the process, the business processes. So we'd rather automate. Having automated, we'd also want to do business re-engineering. So here we are looking at changing the processes in which we deliver the various products and services. So that's one component. The other part of it, we're looking at revenue growth. So literally, when we're talking of cost reduction, we are creating the rubble. We are creating the rubble, and then we are then trying to invest in various businesses. So for the current businesses that we have, we are going to improve them and enhance them so that they can be competitive. At least there's been too much that has happened from the year 2000 that MPC was created to this current year, 2020. So we'd want to optimize on the technologies available and then enhance the product offerings.
Every year in the first week of the month of October, firms across the globe commemorate what they call Global Customer Service Week. This is where firms commit to engaging with their customers, understanding their needs and demands, at the same time striving towards ensuring that they offer the best services and products in line with the expected demands and needs of the customers. One of the firms in the country, Britam Insurance Company, says it is committed to ensuring that it reaches out to the customers with the finest services and products, precisely in the insurance industry. We caught up with Wells Major, who is Chief Operations Officer at Britam Insurance Company Limited.
Each year, the International Customer Service Association dedicates the first week of each October as the Customer Service Week. And this year, this week falls between 5th and 9th October, which is this week. And the theme of this year is the Dream Team. So we at Britam, we have also been celebrating the same customer service week for quite a number of years as well. And we have crafted our theme this year in line with the international theme. And our theme this year is championing customer convenience. The question might be, why championing customer convenience? Simple, because at Britam, we also believe that despite celebrating the customers, but there are people that drive this course of offering this good service. So we want to appreciate the people that do offer this customer service in terms of our frontline staff, operation, and all those supporting staffs, including our brokers and all our partners who assist us in offering this particular service to the customers. Each year, we do line a lot of activities that we have been doing the past quite a number of years. But this year, you know, with the COVID pandemic, it has slightly changed from what we have been normally doing. So we have shaded some of the activities that we have lined up, or we have been lining up. But of course, there will be some activities or some courses that we do through the digital platforms. So people should be on the lookout in terms of from the media and the digital platform. But in addition to that, we also want to appreciate by doing the customer, the corporate social responsibilities. So when the schools are open next week, we intend to donate some of the personal protective equipment to one of the schools in town, mainly the government primary schools, so that probably we assist them in alleviating or reducing this transmission of COVID-19. Probably one might ask, why schools? For us, we believe primary schools or schools in general, that is where the future customer provider is. Schools in general, that is where the future customer is. So we want to help. We have got a duty bound as a business in assisting that we shape these youngsters that are in school, so that tomorrow they become reliable, healthy, and productive citizens. Business, honestly, just like any other institutions in Malawi, we have been affected by the COVID pandemic, because as an insurance company, we also rely on the people that access, the company that access these services from us. And mostly the companies out there, they are struggling. Some have even closed. This, in a way, has indeed affected our businesses, mainly the top line. We kind of have like a small knock in terms of the top line. But there is also a positive to it, to the fact that as the pandemic probably reached at its climax, there was a reduction in terms of activities, like maybe traveling on the roads of Malawi, even in companies in terms of their operations. This, in a way, had a small positive to the insurance industry, including Britam, that we saw a reduction in terms of claims. The message is simple. We appeal to the customers, their current customers, and the would-be customers, to be with us, because as Britam, as I said earlier on, we have streamlined our processes and procedures. We have mapped the journey of our customers. So currently we are able to offer those streamlined services to our customers. And once they come to Britam, once they buy our services, they should be assured that they will get the best service as far as their insurance is concerned.
Well, on that note, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. Always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Goodbye for now.